Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and I am going to be looking at another video today by Geoff Castellucci, which will surprise absolutely nobody who has been with me since the beginning. As I record this, I'm actually only 3 days into this channel being live. This will be going online sometime later. But I want to say a quick thank you to the more than 50 people who have already subscribed to this channel, many of whom who've left comments on my first 2 videos. I am so grateful and so overwhelmed that this channel has received such, or has been received rather, so well, so quickly. And people have been saying, I hope you do more. Yes, I am absolutely going to do more. I'm having a blast doing these. I didn't realize how much fun it could be sharing things that I enjoy. And I think that's one of the great things about YouTube. If you're here, you've probably come because you're interested in what someone has to say about it, you enjoy it already, whatever it happens to be. And so we can all share this together, and I love that. But thank you so very much to everybody who has subscribed. If you haven't, please consider doing so. I'm not quite sure what my sort of rate of releasing videos is going to be. This is all still very, very new. But, you know, maybe one a week? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I am really enjoying this, and I'm pumping a couple of extras out early on just to kind of get the channel moving. Anyway, yes, I went through Geoff's profile and found a lot of songs on there that I really, really love, and I had to kind of, I was picking and choosing what I wanted to do. And I've picked the song that I think has been recommended to me, maybe not the most, but, you know, it's in the top bunch. But also, when I started searching Geoff's name, it's the song that came up most frequently. And so, one, I'm curious, because obviously it's very popular, and two, I'm probably not going to be able to avoid it forever. Somehow I have done up to this point. But I figured I'm going to get a reaction down now so that I can share it with you folks before I see it elsewhere. And as I've mentioned in comments to a couple of people, I might do some analysis, you know, my breakdown sort of technique on videos I have seen before at some point. But I wanted to start out doing reactions because that's what inspired the channel in the first place. And why not? The other thing is, people seem to have really enjoyed my method of just watching the thing first and genuinely reacting to it, and then coming back to it and breaking it down afterwards. So I'm going to carry on doing that. Hopefully that works for everybody. It seems to be popular because people get to hear, you know, an uninterrupted reaction, and I feel like there's sometimes a build-up in these songs where at the end of it you get, you know, it's built up to something, and the reaction is different if you stopped and started. But then I still go through and break it down with whatever knowledge I can apply to it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm now going to stop talking for a moment, and let's just enjoy Geoff singing for 3 minutes, whatever it is, which is not going to be difficult at all. I'm really looking forward to this one to see why it's been recommended so many times and why it seems to be so popular. It's a great song. This is 16 Tons, made popular years ago by Tennessee Ernie Ford. And this is Geoff's take on it, so let's see what he does. Well, that's a start.
A poor man's made out of muscle and blood, a muscle and blood, and a skin and bones. You got a
nice.
And the back of that strong, you load of 16 tons. And what
ooh.
Another day older.
Oh, that's good. Oh, he's harmonized that so beautifully. Oh, that's cool. This is awesome. I love the vibe he's created here. So perfect for this song. Oh, come on. Oh, that richness, that velvet in his voice. Ah! Oh. Yes, Geoff. Oh, this is such a perfect register for him. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, yes.
St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go.
I love what he's done with the percussion in this.
If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men did,
Yes, sir!
a lot of men died.
Wow, that voice. Oh.
Ride one with your load. A 16 time.
Oh! Oh, that was beautiful. His clarity down low. Ah.
My soul to the company store. 'Cause I can't go to the company store. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul.
Oh, gorgeous.
To the company store. 'Cause I can't go.
Oh, bravo, Geoff. That is stunning. Oh, yes, and yes. Color me extremely impressed. I think. Oh, I love that cover as well. That is beautiful. Oh. Wow. That shows off his voice so extremely well. I see why people think this is so good. I read somewhere, or somebody I think mentioned in one of my comments, he doesn't use subharmonics in this. So all of that is him singing in his chest voice. Those rich bass notes down there. I checked. I was listening beforehand. I've got my. I have my A440 up here. I think that's an A flat 1 that he's singing there. So it's not as deep as the songs I've covered for him so far, but it's not subharmonic. He's not using that false fold vibration to bring his voice down. That's entirely in his chest voice, and it's so rich. He started out low, he went lower, and he never really. There was no point where there was no clarity. Like, his clarity was consistent the entire time, and that is spectacular. This is phenomenal. I'm going to break this down. However, because this one's a little bit different, I think perhaps the original song maybe isn't as well known as some of, Wicked and the Monster Mash and stuff that I've covered already. I'm actually going to play. If there's a strange cut here, it's because YouTube didn't like me using this clip. But I'm going to play 30 seconds, which is sort of the first verse and chorus, of Tennessee Ernie Ford singing this, because I think there are some really interesting comparisons with what Geoff did. And I had a sneaky suspicion that might be the case, so I preloaded the video. So this is 30 seconds of Tennessee Ernie Ford, which is also spectacular in a different way. So this is what the song was. I don't know when this was actually produced. 1957. Apparently released on New Year's Day, 1957. This is copyright for the Universal Music Group, so if they're strict on this next section won't be here. But anyway, this is 30 seconds of this.
Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
So that's the original, which is also spectacular. There's some interesting things that I want to draw some comparisons to, because I think Geoff's done a spectacular job of rearranging this. So we're going to go back to Geoff now, and I'm going to break this down. I think this, we'll see how this goes. So, oops, right.
Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. A muscle and blood and a skin and bones. You've got a mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load a 16.
Okay, let's just listen to that beginning. I mean, first off, are there many better ways of starting a song than Geoff singing solo? I am rapidly coming to the opinion that no, there aren't. That is such a gorgeous beginning. It is so perfect for his voice. Slightly lower than the Tennessee Ernie Ford version, unless I'm much mistaken. And it's pitched just perfectly in his register. He's got this beautiful fluidity between the higher and lower notes of what he's singing right here. And there's no embellishment to begin with, because he's starting out very, very simple, which is what this song really deserves. If you think back to the Tennessee Ernie Ford, it starts off with that, the little, I think it's a clarinet, playing the little intro. He starts snapping, and then there's very little going on after that point. Now, it was my uncle who introduced me to this song a very, very long time ago. And unless I'm very much mistaken, he actually said to me that the snapping, the finger clicks, were inserted in there at the request of the band, who wanted it to help them keep time with the song. For their entrances and things like that. I'm not 100% sure about that. That might be apocrypha. But if that's true, it's created this extraordinary... Again, finish my thought. This extraordinary sound. That song is unmistakable because it is so much vocal and this. Just keeping the time. And it's an indelible part of this song now. And I think what Geoff's done here with that is fantastic, because he's given it a little bit more of a beat. It keeps moving more throughout. There aren't as many breaks because it's all the vocalist. So there isn't an instrumental break. There's a non-lyric break where it's just vocalizing. But he can keep moving forwards, which means he doesn't need to keep time with himself in the same way as a band not being quite sure where a singer is going. But he's turned it into something that is so effective, because for a start, finger clicks are such a classic sound, and they go so well with this. But then the combination of the actual percussion that's going on there in the background, and the visual of the tools being struck, either into the ground, or in the case of the sledgehammer, he's got the mallet that he's banging the sledgehammer with. It's so effective. And it just creates... as that comes in, you have just voice, you have voice and clicks, you have percussion. And that's such a beautiful build. And that's one thing I'm noticing in all of Geoff's arrangements so far. He builds expertly. He knows how to construct not just a crescendo in volume, but a crescendo in arrangement. The arrangement itself gradually gets bigger, and it's just brilliant. I want to listen to this beginning again.
Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. A muscle and blood and a skin and bones. You've got a mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load of 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and a deeper in debt. Saying, Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
Another thing that's really nice about this is when the chorus of Geoff's come in. Somebody left me a delightful comment here on the Monster Mash video saying, well, now you've met Geoff, Geoff, and Geoff, all spelt 3 different ways. Which obviously doesn't come across when you're speaking. But the chorus of Geoff's only sing 2 chords underneath that, because the first 3 chords they sing are all identical. And then the third one has a transition to a different chord. And it, again, simplicity. This man's command of simplicity is excellent. One of the things I've learned in being a creative of a variety of sorts for a long time is it's very, very easy to do too much. It's not easy to do just enough. And that's what this is. Oop. There we go. So listen to this. One chord. Same chord. Same chord. Up. Line on its own. And until they come in with a Saint Peter don't. Just those two chords. And it's mostly, let's face it, just one. And that is so good. Because again, it's building, we're going somewhere, but we're not getting there too fast. And there is a weight to this song. And I'm... I mean, obviously, heavy tools. Haha. But... it's also, there's some gravitas to this, because the idea of this, I owe my soul to the company store, I've glanced around to see, when I was seeing, like, wow, so many people are reacting to this, and I've seen several people mention this in folks' comments. The company store was a thing that used to exist where if you worked for the mining company, you bought everything that you would buy from the mining company. So they would pay you pretty rubbish wages, and then you would have to pay the mining company those wages back to buy your daily essentials. And so it was this... it's not even symbiosis, really. It's parasitism. It's the mining company is, they pay you to get the money back, essentially. So they know that most of what they give you is going to be back in their pocket next week. And so you really did owe your soul to the company store, because there was nowhere else to go. These company stores would be, I think you had to shop there, but I think quite frequently they were also the only place for a long way. You'd really have to trek to get to the next place that had a store that wasn't a mining store. And so there's a gravitas to these lyrics that this arrangement evokes so well. Let's go back on this transition into the next step.
I owe my soul to the company store, 'cause I can't go to the company store. Don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Come on.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think, first thing, very simple percussion. We've just got boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. And that's it. It doesn't do anything complicated. There's no, hi-hat going berserk in the background, or a complicated tom fill at some point. And again, it doesn't need it. It is a progression of what we had before, and therefore we already get that the motion has increased. The stakes, the pacing of the song, everything has already picked up. And that's all we need. I want to go back and listen to some of those harmonies, because they're also just great.
'Cause I can't go to the company store. Don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Come on.
So if we ignore the pickup there to the wah, where he goes up to the I owe my soul to the company store, 3 chords that time, if you discount the unison singing. Again, let's go back on that. Unison singing, call and response, which is also really nice. 1 chord, 2 chord. Sorry, I missed that. I was too busy talking about things there. This call and response thing is so great as well, because it kind of has that vibe of a work crew, right? Sailors on a ship, military cadres marching. Like, it's got that song, that sense of oh, I don't know what I've been told, and then somebody sings something back, or heave ho. And this was all done. One of the reasons for, and this is something I've learned post Wellerman, and I'm sure a lot of you have as well, but the whole deal with sea shanties was that they were often pacing. It was pacing for rowing the oars, it was pacing for hauling on the sails. It was a means of ensuring teamwork. And I'm sure, I should probably know this, but I'm sure down in the mines, you would probably get points where in the drudge of the day, you would hear all of the picks striking in unison, and there were probably songs being sung. There were probably people keeping spirits as light as they reasonably could, half a mile under the earth with a canary nearby in case gas came up. And we've got that. And I think that's great. This call and response is so good. Anyway, I'm getting off track. There's too much to... This is the thing. It's one person. I can't comment... I mean, I can comment about different vocal qualities, but it's not like there are different voices here. Different people's voices. And there's no beatboxing like there is with the voice play. But there is still so much to discuss. Anyway, sorry. Going back. So, unison. Unison. 1, 2... 3. There are your 3 chords. And then the ba at the end. So simple. So good. So effective. I also just love these visuals that are going on here. There's that sense of... It's Geoff's fully invested in the song, but the postures he's chosen, everybody, each Geoff is comfortable, but there's also the sense that they've just had a really long day. Like, you know, leaning on what I assume is a shovel there on the right-hand side, hands on the pickaxe, you know, holding onto the shovel shaft and the top. And then just on the right, this kind of, it's almost like a automaton, just striking the sledgehammer. The visual he's got going on here is just spectacular. And I love that all of the lights are just interspersed between them. And then there's one that's behind. And what I don't know, I'm trying to work out here, is this a physical set? I think it is, because I'm looking at the floor, and it looks like that's a black cloth in the background. And so I think those lights are genuinely there. And what I love is that you've got, all of them are lit, but I can't call him narrator Geoff, he's not narrating anything. Lead Geoff, if you like, has a hair light that's been, which is one of these lights that you shine from behind, and it gives you this kind of halo on the outside of his hair, and it just shines that little bit brighter than all the rest. And it's small details, but wow, does it make a difference. And I'm going on and on again, aren't I? Back to the song.
To the company store, come on.
Nice there, double timing the clicks. We had it before. It's the dum 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 dum, and now it's the ba ba da 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 da. He's just picked it up, and with the come on, it's a verbal acknowledgement that we can speed this piece up a little bit. It's I'm loving this.
To the company store, come on.
Also, he just looks so cool in this video. He really, really does. It's just all 4 of him look so cool. It's just thought I'd throw that in there. Oh, did you hear that bass note right before he says I was born?
Company store, come on.
He falls off it just a little at the end. Duh. And it's just like, I'm already deep. I'm just going to let myself slide a little deeper off the end of it. And it's nice because it still carries on in the vocals, that sense of end of day. But it's almost given him like a springboard. He's not leaping up through the note. It's almost like he's bouncing off the bottom of it and coming back up again. Anyway, I'm getting really distracted in this video, but it's just, there's so much to talk about here. Oh, how clear was that? Turn the shovel and a war. I can't even get down there. That's I'm not even going to try. That might be a separate take. That's the only thing I'm hearing. There's a slight break there. Maybe. Oh, maybe not. No. I think I'm just hearing that.
My soul.
I wasn't watching the lyrics the first time around. The emoji in the lyrics, that's great. Straw bus is not a term I'm familiar with. I'm not even going to guess that. Let's just look it up. What's the straw bus? Because I feel like there's a lot of context in this video. Straw bus. What does it mean to call someone a straw bus? An assistant to a foreman. Okay, that's interesting. So the foreman would probably have to be, really whip cracking and making sure that people got their work done. It's kind of like the headmaster, deputy headmaster, or principal, vice principal at a school, isn't it? I don't know if this is the same everywhere, but certainly in my experience, anywhere I went, one of them was always able to be the nice guy, and one of them had to crack the whip a little bit more. And it alternated who was who, but I imagine the foreman probably had to be that role in this case. But the straw boss might be a little bit more on your side, which, like, he sounds like quite a genial fellow from the accent that left Geoff on the screen adopts, with the "well, bless my soul." It's got that jovial nature to it, even though ultimately it doesn't mean a lot. It just means you've completed your quota. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I love the harmony that's again an evolution of what we've had before, right? Let's just go back again. Excuse me. It's nice too, because the first two lines of that, it's just and then we get the and the straw. So it's gone from to ooh to now I'm singing words, and it's a build within that verse, which is also great. This arrangement, everything about it is so good. My soul. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Saying, Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the... Now here's a nice thing too. Notice that everything drops out. You've got the bass and the simplest level of percussion. The three Geoffs are gone. The clicks are gone. It's almost like it's saying, sure, the straw boss has said, well, bless my soul. And then we're right back to where we were because nothing has changed because you did your job. Right? I love the sense of static that's in this arrangement. Even while it moves forwards. Like, everything moves forwards and yet everything stays right where it is in the intention of the words. And that's so good. Well, bless my soul. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Saying, Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the... Also, two different sounds there. Ooh, wow. Three different sounds. Only two chords again. Ooh, wow, are the same chord. And then it resolves on the oh. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to... That's nice. I hadn't seen it. Okay, so we're focused in on the two middle Geoffs. Look at left Geoff when he's saying fighting in trouble with my middle name. The smile. That's so good. Also nice is there's a very limited harmonic range in this. It's focused. I think I have to write them all out and figure them out to be sure, but I feel like we've had maybe 5 chords in this entire song, and they're in a very limited harmonic range, which is keeping the song very contained, which I really, really like. And now when we're coming back, we've kind of got this clap sound coming into the percussion. Everything's moving forwards a little bit more. And there, where the whole verse has picked up a little bit in, like, it feels like it's pacier because there's more percussion in there, all of a sudden, the harmonic range has increased. And the vocal range has also increased because we're not within the limited range the 3 Geoffs have been in plus lead Geoff. All of a sudden, let's call him Straw Boss Geoff, over on the left-hand side, has suddenly gone up and is riffing a little bit on that same pattern that we've seen, and everything's changed up as it goes. And now we've got the song is picking up in intensity. This is so good. Oop. 16 tons, and what do you get?
that St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside.
Oh! That step aside. Wow! It is, but at the same time, such a threat. And who the hell's going to say no to that? Like, I'm out the way. I am totally out the way. Wow. That is beautiful. The richness in his tone down there is stunning. Yeah, really, really nice. And I love, again, listen to how he plays with the arrangement over these two lines. Also interesting there, it's a 1-bar key change. We've had the sold my soul to the company store. 1, 2, 3, 4, back in again. We've only had those 4 beats, 1 bar, and then we're back in. It's a quick change, because it's not happening at the end of a previous bar, but it's also not happening at the beginning of the first bar. It's almost, there's just a bar been inserted to allow us to make that key change, and it's really effective. I love that. If you see me coming, just the snaps, and then on step aside, in comes the bass with that basso tone from Geoff. Also, notice the bass actually matches his rhythm there. Step aside. Nice. Oh, yes. Yes, Geoff. I love that break. You load, boom, 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 chack, at 16 tons. There's something about that. It's a full bar, but it feels abbreviated because the strike on the sledgehammer comes in on 3 and the entire 4th beat is dead air, and it gives space for that monumental 16 tons that goes right into his boots, and right into all of ours as well, because goodness me, I felt that through my entirety. If you're not, for the sake of your own wonderful enjoyment, listen to Geoff on a really good set of headphones, because it just reverberates through you. It's wonderful. But yeah, that break is... It's just the perfect setup for what comes straight after. I love it. Also, I love that it's just that he does the 16 times. What do you get? Like, way up there. It's the counterpoint between the depth of lead Geoff and the height of the trio is great. I also realize I haven't talked about this simple visual that they're doing, that every time you get this bass thump, and like Geoff, that bass is reverberant, it's deep, it's not sort of like a pop bass drum where it hits, and it kind of almost feels like it's a low tom-tom. It's a big bass, but it also doesn't have this huge boom that you get from, the big side-mounted orchestral bass drum that you hit with a great big mallet. It's got a flat cutoff. It's just a thump, and it's done. But they've added this visual when he strikes the pickaxe on those bass drum hits of that whole camera shake, and it just adds to this sense of depth and gravity to everything that's happening. It's so good. Nice there. He's got a double on that. You can hear this. There's 2 tracks of him singing at that pitch, and it's nice. It's just giving a nice bit of momentum into this sudden pullback for the riff at the end.
To the company store, St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul.
Super dramatic bend to a low F sharp. Hang on a second, if that's an F sharp. Oh, I'm sorry, I said it was A flat earlier. Is it an F? It's a G flat or an F sharp instead. My bad.
To the company store, 'cause I can't go.
That is so good. I need to listen to the ending of that. I just love it. Super dramatic bend to a low F sharp. I mean, yeah, right there.
Don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store, 'cause I can't go.
Oh, so good. I also love the expression on Right Jeff's face as he goes into that riff of just like, it's this mixture of this is great and a little bit of resignation and here we go again. Just look at his face when he goes into the riff. It's so good. Right there.
To the company store, 'cause I can't go.
Oh, that is just beautiful. Geoff, you outdid yourself with this arrangement. That is really, really stunning, and I think it captures the vibe of the song and of the time so well, and is also just like, that is a perfect arrangement for Geoff's voice. It's just showing off that richness, but also in the space of the song, allowing him to go super deep in chest voice, and allowing him to go up in his own, he's going the whole way around. There's, I think, a little bit of falsetto in there and some head voice, but it's allowing him the vocal range without relying on the subharmonics, and I love that because his voice is just as stunning without them as it is with. And it's nice to see a singer of such quality not always relying on the gimmick that they're known for, because his voice doesn't need that gimmick. It's the cherry on top that really just, kind of adds to something, but it's absolutely not necessary to get a spectacular vocal performance. So thank you to everybody who recommended 16 Tons to me. I entirely see why you did. That shows off his vocals so well. I think I'm still reliving that Step Aside in his spoken tone. That was so rich. I've never heard a word spoken with such authority. There's no push, there's no aggression to it. It's just deep and simple, and you are stepping aside. I love that. I think that was great. I hope you enjoyed listening to that as much as I did, and I hope that you were able to learn something or enjoy listening to me talk about it. Thank you so much for coming along and watching this video. Like I said at the beginning, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I would love to have keep growing this following that I've got, because what it is really is, it's me integrating myself into an existing community that love what I am learning to love. And I'm getting so much joy from reading the comments of people who are like, oh, it's so great seeing you do this. How about you do this? Because I think you'd really enjoy it. I love that stuff. Also, if you have something that is not voice play or Geoff that you would like me to listen to, please suggest that as well. Obviously, people have been saying Home Free and Pentatonics. Home Free I have not heard. That's going to be completely fresh to me when I come to it. Pentatonics I heard back in the day. I don't know particularly what musical phase I was going through at the time. I have gone through a lot. But I didn't pick up on them at the time. which is odd because I've always loved barbershop music, and so close harmony kind of comes right behind that, and I don't really know why I didn't pick up on them, but there's someone I'm going to look into again as well. I realized I haven't really talked about me and what I like. I've always been a fan of close harmony and barbershop, as I say. I really like jazz music. I like metal, specifically what I used to hear termed as symphonic power metal. I don't know what the term is for it now, but my love of it was fronted by Nightwish. I am a classically trained pianist and singer, and so I obviously have an interest in that. More in the sort of romantic era of music above anything else. I'm not a huge fan of Baroque. I'm not so big on sort of what I would call mathematical music, which is in no way a derogation of Baroque music. It's just how my mind perceives it, and I don't enjoy it quite so much. What else do I like? A lot of random stuff. Really. Musical theatre. I trained in musical theatre, and so I have a huge love of musical theatre that used to be extremely extensive and has sort of thinned down a lot recently, but it's still something I'm very passionate about. So those are all things that I am aware of to some extent. But if there's if you suggest something in those lines, there's a good chance I may have heard a version of it at the very least. If you go outside of that field, that's going to be completely new to me. So I'm keen to explore anything and everything. I think this is a really fun. I think one of the most enjoyable things for me about this experience has been discovering voice play and discovering Geoff. These are obviously well within my comfort zone, but I also like discovering things that are not. So let's just see where this takes me. And I hope you'll be along for the ride. Thank you very much. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Take care, and bye for now.